Hello and welcome back to Retry Radio. Today we're going to be talking all about Google Stadia and that awesome Nindie Direct on March 20th, 2019. That was super cool. I'm Kerley and I'm joined with Dennis.
Hey.
And also Mr. Ryan Tierney.
Hello.
What's going on, guys?
Things?
Not much.
Things and stuff, not much.
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
Stuff.
So we're going to add a little segment into the beginning of this thing, kind of talk about what we got going on in our lives and in our nerd culture type of thing. But first, what this podcast is us getting together and just kind of talking about whatever we want to talk about. Sometimes it's topical, sometimes it is not. So what I've been doing lately is working on a lot of YouTube stuff. Me and Dennis have got that sweet, nasty D&K arcade series working. And we just released an episode of Monopoly, which is really fun and friendship breaking. It's a great time. Also, we brought back Sorry We're Late, a video podcast that is an absolute train wreck, but it's a good time. It's live, and you can catch it whenever we do it because we don't have a consistent schedule. Other than that, I just got a PSVR. I'm excited to do that, but first I've got to update my PlayStation, which is way too difficult. PlayStation, why the fuck you do this to me? So what you got going on with you, Dennis?
Why is it hard to update?
Dude,
your
so here's the thing. It took me like 8 hours to plug in my PSVR, right? And I'm just like, let me jump in here and just kind of play around and see how this thing works and stuff. By the time I finally got it done, it after plugging in like 1,000 things, there's like 15 HDMI ports, cables. There's like a USB thing. The HDMI goes to the TV and the place. It's all confusing, crazy.
It's really not that confusing.
It's really too many cables. But then I finally have everything going. And then PlayStation, I just went to go into like the PlayStation store just to see, I'm not buying. I'm just browsing what VR titles do I want to plan on getting. And then it was like, you're not signed into a network. And I'm like, why? What? So then I have to go through, reset all my network settings for no reason because nothing has changed at all. And then it didn't have me logged into the PlayStation Network itself. So then I went to log in. For some reason, my information was not saved any longer. So then I had to go reconfigure a new password, everything, finally get that going. Then I go back into the store and it's like, there's an update that you have to do. It's going to be 15 minutes. And I just gave up and then started recording this podcast instead. What the fuck, man? Like, it signed me out of my internet. I couldn't log in with my information. I can't remember my password. And then it was like, you have to update. It's like, I wish you would have been updating this whole time. But it wasn't, because I wasn't logged in or connected to the internet for no reason at all.
Fascinating.
It is. So, other than that, what have you been up to, Dennis?
So PlayStation Now just came to Sweden like last week, and they just billed me after my 7-day trial because I forgot to cancel it. But I have to say, I think we had a conversation, like you and I, Curly, about when this came here, and I think the reason why it was so ridiculously like hated on launch in America is because your internet is just worse.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Because I didn't have issues like here at home. I've got like a pretty good connection, and occasionally like it looked like it was running natively.
Damn, that's fucking awesome. Also, rub it in, why don't you?
What?
Also, rub it in, why don't you?
Yeah. But yeah, it looked really nice. And I think that experience really set me up like it to be like a very positive setting in front of like the Stadia thing that we're going to talk about later. But yeah, so I played some what's it called? Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time.
Hey, we about to be playing them games apparently.
Yeah, we're gonna play the Sly games sometime.
Yep.
I guess I'm gonna have to keep subscribing to PlayStation Now then. Yeah, and then I also played Fat Princess. Have you guys played that game?
No, I've never played it.
Fat Princess, that game is fucking hilarious, and it's weird, and
That was a PS3 indie title?
yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I remember.
an indie title, it's a first party game.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's right, because Fat Princess was in All Stars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't she? Interesting.
Yes, she was.
Cool. Ryan, what you been up to, man?
I finished Resident Evil 2.
Nice. Did you get your pants pooped in from the scares?
Yeah, a lot actually.
That's awesome.
It like doesn't help to play the game during the day, like at all. So I usually just try to play when Vanessa's home.
You never played the original, right?
No.
So, do you feel like it feels like a new game?
Yeah.
I'm just curious because, I mean, like I played a lot of the old Resident Evil, never beat the games, but like they didn't necessarily age very well, the first like 3 or 4 of them. So it's awesome to hear that like Resident Evil has been for the past 2 games have been fucking knocking it out of the park. They completely reboot the series, and then they're just like, we're just kidding. Here's like the best Resident Evil game, but with a modern fucking take. And it's very good to hear that it like still holds up. What else you been up to?
And I think maybe 2 or 3 days ago started Persona 5.
There you go. There you go.
And game's a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
I am tired of you never trusting my judgment.
I mean, it's not that I didn't trust your judgment. It's that I watched you play it for 2 hours and you literally did nothing.
Time and time again, I keep telling you these things, and you're just like, I don't know, bruh. I watched you play it for 2 hours, because that's how Ryan talks, everybody, when he's not on podcasts. And I'm just like, you're a fool, young man. This is an amazing RPG. Probably the best turn-based RPG to come out, like, in a very fucking long time, I guess. I don't even know. It might be my favorite RPG of all time. I'm not ready to say that, because I still haven't beaten the game. I've been playing it for 2 years.
You're a madman. That's crazy. I mean, I haven't played it enough to completely dismiss what you're saying, but
yeah,
right now it's not even close.
When will you learn to stop questioning my all-known wisdom? All right, awesome, good. So today we're gonna talk about Google Stadia. Did you guys watch the whole conference, or just kind of summaries?
I watched the whole conference live.
I watched Kind of Funny react to it.
So you watched the whole thing with commentary, basically?
Yeah.
Okay, so I woke up late from working a graveyard shift and did watch the whole thing. So first off, what did you guys think of the overall presentation as far as like, I don't know, what did they call it? A keynote? Yeah, I guess it'd be like a keynote. What did you guys think about the overall pacing and everything like that?
It was a very Google keynote.
Yeah.
As someone who has been watching their other presentations and stuff, they're more like tech related. I mean, this was also very tech related. Like a lot of people in the games industry are complaining that they didn't talk about games. It's like, yeah, I get that, but this thing wasn't really about the games, even though it is a game service. This was all about teaching the public about game streaming.
I thought they mixed it really well because you could tell that it was, a conference that was focused on game developers, but also they're dropping these big bombshells, and they do have games. Like I don't know. I've been seeing some of the critiques and criticisms of it, and I just personally I don't know if people just don't see the vision. They can't look in the future, I guess. I don't know. Or if they just expected like an E3 games. I don't know why people expect that at a GDC conference. And like the tech that they showed off is really impressive, especially like the development tools and the fact that they're being so open with everything. They're just, they're like, these tool sets are going to be available for everybody, yada, yada, yada. Right. But I thought the conference was really good, really well done. They have a lot of people cycling in and out, but I thought it was very well done.
Yeah, like something a lot of people has to like remember is that this is a GDC conference, a game developers conference.
Right. Exactly.
It's not like commercial thing, really.
Yeah, I mean, man, I don't know. There was a lot of information to take in from the whole thing, and I feel like it was perfect as far as like they got all the information they needed to get out for now, but they still got, I feel like they've left enough breadcrumbs to be like, man, pretty much anybody that watched it, I guess that actually is like interested in what this is going to be, they're starved for more information, which is what they want to leave you with. Like,
yeah, exactly. It seems like a lot of people forgot how the PlayStation 4 was revealed. Like, we knew about like Knack, Infamous Second Son, and like one more game.
Yeah.
And it was just mostly about like, oh look, the PlayStation 4 has the fucking whatever, It runs. It has a x86 architecture, where it's like most people won't know what that means.
Ryan, what did you think about it?
So I thought the information that they were like, I'm really intrigued by the whole Stadia thing, but at the same time, I'm always the same. Whenever I watch press conferences or presentations, I'm always just left wishing that people were better at presenting. Like I just find myself bored listening to them talk. Like even at E3, like when they had the guy from Microsoft up there, I don't know his name, but they sound so stagnant and bored when they speak. Like they're scripted readings. Like, but for the actual like overall content, I thought it was a decent presentation. Towards the end, I kind of tailored off, just because I'd gotten all the information that I wanted in particular. But I just wish like they had better presenters. I feel like it could be presented in a way to get people more like hyped is the wrong word, but to garner interest.
they just get out there by everyone on your fucking feet. Stadia is here. Ba 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 ba.
I mean, it is a get hype moment for Stadia because that's a huge fucking news. But
yeah,
just a little more energy in it. Maybe I'm spoiled because Greg Miller is a walking energy. But yeah, that was mostly my take on it.
See, I think for me personally, and I see where you're coming from, but like I felt like this was better than most of the presenters that we're used to seeing. I feel like everybody was pretty quick to the points and very well readers. I mean,
they were good readers.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, it didn't feel as scripted as some people. But anyway, I feel like one thing that has spoiled us is like what we're going to talk about later, the Nindies, the direct style of thing. And like you're saying about the kind of funny, their press conference was just like, everything was pre-recorded. Everything just transitioned smoother. The information's faster and everything. But I feel like this needed to be more just fleshed out information because they're trying to, explain to developers. And I mean, aside from Dennis, me and you aren't developers. So a lot of the information is probably over our heads and whatnot. But anyway, that's a kind of a top level thing. So Google announces straight out the bat, like kind of what everybody expected, that they are getting into games, that they are going to have a streaming game service. This is exactly what I expected going in. A lot of people were speculating on boxes or a console. It didn't make any sense because they've already done the tests on the Chrome browser and everything. Yeah. So I mean, it blew me away. The fact that Google, I don't know what it is about this presentation, but they seem so like they've got it. Like, I don't know if that's just
they were confident.
Yeah, their confidence was just like has me sold because they basically told me exactly what I expected. Like, yeah, we're gonna have a streaming service. It's gonna have a bunch of games. It's gonna work on any device and everything. And kind of going into that, I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. But then once it's presented and they have like that dude that's going from device to device and everything, and it just looks so good. And then the fact that they were throwing shade at other companies and stuff, kind of like
like they are truly pushing themselves into the game.
Yeah.
And I like I've often said that there are only two companies in the world that are big enough and are big enough in surrounding industries that they could force themselves into the video game industry. And those companies are Apple and Google. And
Right.
Google just put themselves in a situation where they are able to succeed.
Yeah.
All that needs to happen now is that they announce games and that they release the service mostly without issues, and that the price is good.
Yeah, that's a big thing going in. Is I'm worried about what the pricing model will be. Do you guys think it'll be Microsoft Game Pass, or do you guys think it'll be like buy your game individually?
Or
both, even. Like, it's just like, it can be anything. This is so new. It's just overwhelming to even think like, man, what is this going to be?
I am worried because I think the pricing is going to be substantial on this. Like,
no, I don't think it's going to be substantial. I think it's going to be a very competitive pricing because this is Google. I think they know that they can't price it too high. So, like, I think it's going to be... I think the worst case scenario will be the same price as PlayStation Now.
Is that $20
Which is
a month?
That's like... I think it's like 15, whatever, I think.
Okay.
So you think it will be like subscription based?
Yes, I think it will be subscription based because the way they marketed it was like... when he was like, okay, I'm watching like this YouTube video of Assassin's Creed Origins, and then afterwards there's this end card that's like play on Stadia.
Play now, right?
Yeah, and then you can press that button, and it wouldn't be that experience if you would immediately be like thrown into, okay, it's time to buy this game for $60. It's like,
See,
I'm good, you know.
what kind? That's exactly the takeaway I had from that moment, where it's like, if at the end of the video it's a play now, but then I started thinking, like, because they have that that link type thing where it's like, are they like, you can basically save an instance, put it in a link, and like, what if that's how you like demo your games or something? You can only play through that instance or something like that. It's just got my brain like thinking like it. It seems like it's going to be a subscription base, but it's just that to me sounds like too good to be true almost, because it's like first off, what all games would it be? And then it's just like, how do the developers, what are the developers getting out of this? Is it like, if you click on that play now, they get a percentage? Like, I'm just trying to figure out where does the money come from? Where's it going? How does this work?
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at Microsoft as a comparison, they are currently giving zero shits about hardware sales. Like, let's be honest, and they're also giving zero shits about actual game sales as well.
Right. They
are pushing very hard towards making Xbox a service and not a platform.
Yeah.
Like, they're releasing all of their first party games that they've spent like a lot of money in. They're releasing it straight to Game Pass. There are rumors that Xbox Game Pass is coming to Nintendo Switch. They're doing this whole xCloud thing. They're releasing Cuphead on Nintendo Switch. Like, they clearly do not care about exclusivity and stuff anymore. And I think that shows that after they started experimenting with Game Pass, they must have realized that that is a lot more lucrative than actually selling games at a $60 price point and selling hardware at like $300, $400.
Yeah, it's all fascinating because it's all so new. Like, I'm just trying to, man, it's exciting. It's really exciting, this streaming thing. Of course, the one concern we have to talk about is like the fact that it's going to work amazing for Dennis, and it's probably not going to work that great for me and Ryan, being that we live in the southern United States where internet's just meh, it's okay. Google seems so goddamn confident it's just going to work. And like, until I have it in front of me and until I see it for myself, I'm going to remain skeptical. But like, if this fucking works, like, I mean, of course there's going to be areas where it doesn't, but like in areas where internet's okay, like is it going to be only good in big cities? Or is it going to be like, if you have middle of the ground internet, is it still going to work fine? There's like so many factors that go into this whole thing. And I feel like I've seen a lot of people saying like, this is going to be Google's normal thing where if it doesn't immediately take off, it's going to be dropped. Like, I don't see that with this. I feel like they've got this figured out. They've got this shit on lock. And this is going to be a long growing process for basically the entire gaming industry.
Yeah. So one of the as you said there, like Google has a habit of dropping new projects in kind of an alpha or a beta form, and then having it be out for a few years, and then if it doesn't hit, like they just drop it entirely. That's just kind of how Google works, and which is one of the main reasons why I went with iTunes movies and not Google Play movies, because they could just drop that immediately, and I'm like, okay, now I don't have a library of movies anymore. While Apple usually sticks to their stuff, and like they develop things in the background for a long time and then release it in a final state, and then they just keep it around for years and years and years. While Google just kind of, that's why Google at one point had like 5 messaging services at the same time, which is like, why do you have this many messaging services when you can just have one? But what I see being different about this one is that Stadia seems to be releasing in a final state. Yeah. Rather than being in a beta. Because we've already seen it in a beta state where it was actually just released in a beta and then it was brought back. So I think Google Stadia will be released in its final form, and I think they are going to stick with it because they realize that this is the future. And I don't think Google would be doing this if they didn't think they could. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't know, man. It's all, like I said, it's super fascinating. I'm excited to see when this launches how good it works, and I feel like you're saying they understand that this isn't just going to home run immediately. They're going to have to build this up. They're going to have it's going to have to grow, and the fact that I'm running in circles in my brain. The fact that this is the future, I feel like, is going to escalate it, because the internet is going to have to catch up, just like streaming services like Netflix and everything. Internet has gone up exponentially, like better quality internet has grown because the needs, and stuff like this is just going to push that, you know? Yeah, sure. Especially when you have fucking Google, like basically the internet gods. Like, oh man, it's so cool. When we have this big of an innovation, like, I don't know, we're on the cusp of like a huge change that, like, I don't think we've seen.
The implications are huge. Like, and honestly, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a minute, because like there's a depressing element to those changes as well. Because like it's not an imminent threat to the consoles, but like they're on the way out. I feel like it's farther down the line, but it's the same thing that's happened with cable, or is happening with cable, and has happened with like DVD and Blu-ray players. Like, they're almost obsolete at this point. Like,
I'm so interested in that.
The idea that like 20 years from now, you know, we're not going to be wondering, oh, what's the PS6 or 7 going to be like? Like, it's just going to be updates now. Like, they're not going to put out new models and new consoles and stuff like that. That's it's not depressing, but it is a change that we're gonna have to get used to.
I'm just so curious. Like, I can totally 100% see Xbox going through this way on the next generation. PlayStation, I'm so curious what the hell they're gonna do. But then, like, bottom line, what the fuck does Nintendo do? Because Nintendo, everything they make is circled around the hardware. Like, I mean, if you look at the Switch, it's just... everything is based on that portability, the Joy-Cons popping off. The Wii everything is based on the fucking motion controls, the controller, the hardware. The Wii U gamepad didn't really take off with what it could do, but like the idea was all like hardware based. Like how does a company like that transition to this? Is it just going to be controllers? Like I'm thinking like way in the future, like because Nintendo plays by their own fucking rules. Like, is that like do they need to change? Are they going to change? Like I have no idea.
That change will come at some point. They'll almost be forced to, like, not anytime soon, but the same thing with PlayStation. All it takes is another down period of like a PS3 or a Nintendo Wii U for them to have to change something up and then to jump on the bandwagon of
I just think at this point we're closer than ever to having just a gaming platform where you can get Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox games on the same thing. And that's just fucking weird. That's so weird.
It would be cool, though. I mean, I'd welcome that more than anything. But at the same time, I'm like going to miss the physical side of it because I do like owning my things.
No, I'm the same way. It terrifies me as well because as a collector and like just somebody that feels comfort in actually having a tangible item. Like, I mean, most people have moved on to the digital age. I'm still holding back. I still buy CDs. I still buy physical copies of games for the most part. Right. But like, I mean, just the fact that like I am basically sold on this is like, man, it's happening because I'm the physical guy. And yet I see this and I'm like, dude, the convenience. The beginning of this fucking podcast was me bitching about the updates and everything, and Google comes out and they're just like, none of that shit is going to be a thing.
You're never going to have to update a game console ever again. You're never going to have to patch a game ever again. You're never going to have to download a game ever again. You're never going to have to download a DLC ever again.
Yeah. Dude, I'm like, if you can get me, the physical guy, in like with shit like that, like this can really take off. This can be the next fucking gen. Like I feel like this like last from PS3 to PS4 basically, or Xbox 360 to Xbox One, whatever. Like the jump wasn't like massive as like the PS2 to PS3 and everything.
Not
and like
but...
yeah. I mean it's just like I feel like we're like starved for that big jump, and this is it, man. This feels like the next generational gaming. Like it feels like the next
like
fucking...
a jump or two away. Though.
Yeah.
It's like the PS5
I don't know, man.
and the Xbox Scarlet. I don't feel like are making this jump yet. I feel like this is still another generation away, or at least a mid-generation away. Like
I feel like if that's the case, then PlayStation is kind of shitting their pants right now.
That's
I just
probably
so
fair.
I think
they still have their exclusives, so.
Yeah,
I think this Stadia can very much be compared with YouTube. I would say Stadia is the YouTube of video games, but there are still movies. There are still like you can still buy physical movies. You can still buy digital movies and all of this stuff. But at the same time, you have this like really modern approach to video content, which is YouTube, which can all be shared like with links and all this stuff. And that is the approach that they're taking with Stadia, which is like this really easily shareable and social approach to video games. But at the same time, you will still be able to buy physical games. You'll still be able to buy like traditional consoles. You can buy games on the PlayStation Store, the Nintendo eShop, all this stuff. I don't think it's going to go away in the near future. I think it's going to live side by side for a while, at least until internet gets so good all over the place, or at least in the US, for it to really take over.
Yeah, I agree. I like Ryan was saying, the consoles are going away. Like, I feel like that's a stretch. Like, because like Ryan was saying, the PlayStation exclusives, like, that's what's going to sell the next PlayStation. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what you're playing your third party games on, you're still going to play fucking The Last of Us 3 or whatever the fuck Naughty Dog's doing. You know,
That's like 20 years away. What are you doing?
I'm just saying. Like, I mean, like Spider-Man 2. Or God of War 2, or whatever they're going to title that game, is going to be very confusing.
It's just how long can they hold on to that is the thing, because Xbox is making moves to make that jump back up to like top dog next generation. I feel I don't know if it'll work or not, but how long can PlayStation go without either making a mistake, which they've proven they can do in the past, or just not making the right moves to stay on top? Because if they just stick with status quo, they're gonna get jumped.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All of it's very, very exciting. Like I said, this next generation has me super intrigued on where
it's gonna be. Really fascinating.
Yeah, who's going to be on top in 5 years? Like, what is it going to look like? It's going to be very interesting.
It's going to be crazy because I don't know. I have this like this image in my head of like some Ready Player One shit, like where like Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo all live in the same like datascape. Like you're playing a VR and like you can just walk into like the different platform that you want to play or something. Like,
yeah.
So when I was watching the Stadia reveal, I had a very like iPhone feel about it. Like when Steve Jobs showed off the first iPhone, I had the same feeling about Stadia's presentation, where it was like they're revealing this product that for a lot of people will feel like, what is this? Like, what do I need this for? Like, why is this a thing? Like, because like when Apple reveals like the iPhone, it's like, okay, but why do I need to have all of this stuff in my phone? Like, it's for calling people.
Can't have
like,
a phone without buttons. Hergen-dergen.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, like Bill Gates was like publicly out and was like, it doesn't even have a physical keyboard. And it's like, come on.
Shit.
Yeah, man. Also, the fact that one thing, okay, I said that they gave us exactly what I expected. The YouTube integration that they have going for this caught me off guard, but makes complete sense. That they look at everything Google has to offer and they're like, what can we do to integrate this? And I think what they're doing with the crowd play, I think they called it, is really ingenious. Like, and especially like being a content creator, I'm just like, dude, this could be huge. Like, this could be amazing. Imagine think obviously Nintendo's not going to be on this platform, but how in my streams we play Mario Maker levels and people send in their levels, they enjoy that. That's one of the reasons why the channel has seen any growth, is because my channel can interact with the viewers because they make me stuff. They want to see me play specific things that they've made. Take an analog of that for, whatever game. I could have a stream where people send me links of these certain challenges. It's kind of like the same concept, but could be like hundreds of games. Like somebody could, for example, say fucking Cuphead ends up on this thing since it's going third party. Who the fuck knows? Somebody can be like, yo, here's a section of a level, beat this without dying or something. And I'll, and then somebody else puts on fucking 2K, which I'm horrible at basketball games and they want to see me be terrible. Be like, yo, play this final fucking round. I don't know what basketball they do, rounds.
Periods. God damn
Periods,
it, Kerley.
thank you. I'm just saying, like, it is very interesting that they're leaning into the YouTube side and the creator side of things, the same way that they're leaning into the development side of things. Some of the art style swap thing that they showed was very interesting. It seems like they've really have a very solid foundation for making games in this thing. The Unreal Engine, Havoc, all that stuff. It's just like, damn, man, this is fucking the real deal. Like,
yeah.
And
I thought the state share feature looked really, really fascinating.
yeah, it's
That
so
was
cool.
the one where when you press the capture button, you'll have the choice to just literally share the moment that you experienced and have other people play through that.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Not the crowd play, but the state share thing or whatever it's called. That's what I'm saying for like the where they could send you instances of a game and whatnot. And then also the crowd play thing allows them to play with you. It's just, man, it's so interesting, so fucking cool. But
I
like
also-
the state share thing is just really fascinating because they say that you can edit the parameters of things. So like you can edit, say like what is in your inventory at this point and all that and stuff. It's just like it's basically sharing save states but instantly. It's so fucking cool. Which is another reason why it's got to be subscription based because I mean there's so many barriers. If you had to buy each game individually, like it just doesn't work the same.
Right.
Exactly. I really think it's gonna be subscription based.
I thought
Oh,
the little button on the controller that lets you like get help if you need it. I don't know if that's like technical
Google
support
Assistant.
or if
Google
they're going
Assistant.
to.
No, it's the Google Assistant.
Oh, okay. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. It looks like it would be seamless, but I just don't see how that would work. It's just like if you need something specific, it's saying that you don't even need to scrub through. It's just going to have it there, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'd have to like. It's another like if I see it, I'll believe it. But until then, I'm just like, man, I don't know.
What did y'all make of the? There's like the little bubbles that had like the icons from different games on it.
What you mean?
During the presentation?
Before the presentation?
Yeah, before the presentation, they were showing off like because they had like one for Metal Gear, and they had another game I can't remember what it was because I was kind of hung up on the fact that they had Metal Gear.
I don't think it necessarily means anything. I feel like they're trying to say like we're like in a bold, cocky way. They're like we're the future of gaming. This is gaming's past and everything. Like this is the culmination of everything you've known, and this is where we're taking it. But I don't know. I feel like there's not much to read into there. I don't know. Maybe who knows?
I don't know. It was they were specific references is all. Like one screen had like 5 references to a single game. It just felt some kind of like there was some kind of intention there.
I don't think so. So a lot of people has been like giving a hard time to Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, for saying that he's not a big gamer. I don't think that's such a big deal. Like, what do you expect? Like, the CEO of a big tech company, like, he was there to show that he is behind this, even though he's not a big gamer. Like, I think the fact that he's not a big gamer shows how much Google believes in this.
Right.
Yeah.
The fact that, like, gamers within Google got the CEO who only plays, like, mobile games and FIFA to believe in this and actually bring this to market.
I mean, the thing
is, anything, that was one of the most important things that they did, in my opinion.
The thing is they hired people that are into gaming. I mean, Phil Harrison. I mean, they have him.
Like he's a former Sony person.
That's why I'm like, who cares? Like, I mean, the Google CEO isn't big in games, but he hired this creative team to do gaming. Like, I mean, as long as they have that, they're good, right? I mean, I just don't see people's quarrel with that. I don't understand that.
I don't know if they said this in the presentation, but is Google going to be developing its own first-party titles, or are they going to be strictly?
They announced Stadia Games and Entertainment, led by Jade Raymond, who is like an industry veteran.
Wow.
It's gonna be a big deal. She used to work. The last place that Jade Raymond worked at was EA Motive, which is the studio that she started at EA, but is to make Star Wars games. But Star Wars games are iffy, so I can see why she left.
Did y'all see the news about the Star Wars games? Not to divert, but it's kind of a cool topic.
What's
the whole
talking about
Disney
George,
revived
Lucasfilms games? Yeah.
No, that if you read like what's his name, Jason Schreier from Kotaku, he tweeted out that this is just complete like entirely fake news. Lucasfilm Games has been around for years. They're the team at Lucasfilm that communicates with EA and their games.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of saw the headline for it, but I mean, like nobody can make Star Wars games regardless right now because EA has exclusivity, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
there's years until anyone else can make a Star Wars game, even Disney themselves. Disney only has the rights to make mobile Star Wars games right now.
What'd you guys think of the Stadia controller?
I am very excited about it. I think it is a very smart idea to make a Wi-Fi controller and not a Bluetooth controller. I think my plan right now for Stadia is that when it comes out, I'm gonna there's probably gonna be a trial. I'm gonna try it out. Use like an Xbox controller or something. Like try it out and then like see if I'm sold on it. And if I'm sold on it, I'm just gonna buy that controller immediately because the idea that I could jump between like playing on my Mac to playing on my iPad to my iPhone to my PC to my whatever, and not have to sync the controller every time is a really cool thing.
Dude, I'm really excited about the Wi-Fi integration, mostly because my PC doesn't have a Bluetooth. And like I need a good gamepad to play like games on my computer. Not only that, but like how you're saying like, oh, CEO Google, not a big gamer. Dude, their controller literally has the Konami code on the back of it. That was fucking awesome. Like, get the fuck out of here. This is obviously made by video game fans, people that are in the culture that love it and everything. That design concept that leaked on Twitter that like was like, oh, this controller looks like Dick's boomerangs and stuff. Like, come on. Like, obviously that was fake. This controller looks fucking awesome. I loved the highlights under the analog sticks. Those are really cool.
Which color will you get?
Dude,
if you
the fucking orange, man. Come on. Kerley Studios orange. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah. I think I might get the black one.
Dude, I'm almost always black controllers, but like that white has such a like nice, like it highlights that, like I said, under the analog sticks, they just pop. I'm just like, ooh. And I'm not a big fan of the D-pad. It's all rounded, but it's better than PlayStation D-pad. So hey, cool. I'm in.
It's all about the feel.
Yeah, I do want to hold one.
We'll see.
But I do like that they also are like, going out and saying like, no, you can use your other controllers with this. I'm like, good on you, man. Fuck yeah. This is great.
Yeah.
And also they're obviously building this thing with the future in mind. Everything is going to be eventually 8K, 120 FPS or whatever. And I'm just like, dude, I haven't even played games on 4K, and they're talking about like, bro, eventually this shit's going to be scalable up. All the GPUs, all the teraflops, throwing shade, saying like, this is more powerful on one GPU instance or whatever, yada yada.
Yeah.
Than fucking both of the top competitors combined, and I'm just like, oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
And on top of that, they were talking about elastic computing, which is that a game can be run on multiple Stadia stations.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, imagine if Sony would do this and, like, Uncharted 5 running on, like, 3 Stadia stations or whatever. Like, dude, that would be fucking gorgeous. But yeah, imagine these amazing, like, single-player games that could run on, like, multiple stations, and they would just be more beautiful than we can do at even at like you'd have to buy a super high-end gaming PC with like 4 Titan graphics card or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like it's not feasible for most people, and here playing at really high-end gaming becomes feasible for everyone.
Yeah,
the fact that it seems like every game will run at 4K 60. That is fascinating.
It's going back to how this is for developers. Like, if I was into developing games and Google's like, dude, you don't have to develop a game around hardware limitations anymore.
Yeah.
Like, literally, whatever your game needs, you're going to get it with this platform. It's just like, man, that's fucking fascinating. Like, what the possibilities are now endless. It's like a lot of creativity and everything goes into hardware limitations, but like, with that being said, what kind of games do we get if that doesn't exist? You know?
What I'm really interested in is also the idea that they're bringing up about online games.
Yeah.
The fact that instead of doing the usual like host and client system where like if we three were to play an online game, like our three systems would be the clients to then like the main like Sony servers or whatever. There are like, and since we're like in different parts of the world, like they would be probably like different servers, and then like it would be a whole mess, you know. But here, every like the hosts and the clients are in Google's own system, and we are like the only lag is the connection from their server to that, or that the game is being streamed to us. So that completely eliminates cheating. It eliminates modding, which is both a good and a bad thing.
Yeah.
It like eliminates the idea that like when in a multiplayer game where you see like a guy just like skipping like back and forth because his internet is like really laggy, and then he somehow still kills you for some reason because his internet is bad and your internet is not bad, but he killed you in his game, so you're dead for some reason. That's never gonna happen again, and that's really exciting. And also because the entire multiplayer simulation is happening essentially locally, that means we can get way richer multiplayer experiences. Like a lot of multiplayer games are set in static worlds because it's really hard to do that kind of stuff, to do like dynamic worlds in a multiplayer environment, because there's this thing in online games called prediction, where the game is constantly like predicting where you're going to move next because it doesn't have a real-time feed of your controller input, you know?
Right.
And basically in this instant, like in this place, like coding prediction is a thing of the past. And I think online games are going to be like, dude, why would we develop our game for anything else? We don't have to spend like months making prediction code and all of that stuff. And we can make like way more dynamic games. Like imagine something as like dynamic as an Uncharted level. Like that could be an online experience now. It haven't been possible before because online worlds need to be static to eliminate the amount of prediction and the amount of like syncing simulation and stuff that needs to happen. Like, you know, when in some online games where there are like weather involved, and for some reason for you it's like daylight and raining, and for someone else it's like clear dark sky, you know. Like it does, and that's because they haven't coded the like synchronization stuff into that. And like you're never gonna have to do that again. Like coding an online game is gonna be so much easier for everyone involved.
Yeah. So,
and the fact that they were talking about that it would be possible to make like battle royale games with like thousands of players.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
like no issue.
It's crazy. It's like if this thing actually works, man, we're gonna get games that weren't possible, and that's exciting. Any closing thoughts on Stadia before we move on to Nindies?
One more thing, they also talked about split screen, which was a really cool concept as well. Split screen games won't ever have to run on the same platform anymore. A split screen game
Yeah,
on Stadia is just two different Stadia systems being rendered at the same screen. So that is also really cool.
So one thing about the split screen thing, because I'm pro split screen gaming, is this whole foundation is built on you can play it on any screen. Why wouldn't you just use two different screens?
I mean, you could, but like,
not everybody has two different screens.
I mean, I guess, but it just seems to me like you would just like use your phone for one screen. You know what I mean? I do like the idea that you can kind of like customize the other players into like smaller windows. That's really fascinating. That's really cool. Like you can have picture in picture basically with other people's gameplay, and like you can apparently interact that way. That's very new and stuff. I mean, like I said, I'm pro split screen. I like playing on a couch on the same screen. And lately we don't get that because since graphics move up, whenever you have to split the partition of the screens, like the quality just goes to shit, and it's just hasn't been good in many years for many different games. So it will be cool to have back. It will be cool.
Oh, one more thing. I just realized this right now. We will be on Stadia. It would be possible to make Wii U games again, like asynchronous multiplayer games.
Right? Yeah. Fucking dude. Yes. Dude,
that'd be awesome.
Like you could put Nintendo Land on Stadia.
Nintendo Land was so good. Like imagine games like that. Yes, I'm fucking in. Dude, that fucking Luigi's Mansion minigame was so good.
Yeah.
It was so fucking cool.
So good.
I mean, I don't really necessarily have any closing thoughts. I'm excited. I'm skeptical. I'm scared. But mostly I'm just excited. I mean.
Yeah. I truly think this is the future of video games. And I would honestly be very surprised if Google fails in doing this.
Yeah, same.
Google is like historically a successful company, so
yeah,
it's true.
And the biggest thing is just like they seem so confident, and like it's not like we're fucking confident, but like it looks like they actually have a right to be. They've built this huge fucking infrastructure, and they've shown that it does work. Like really all that it needs is like the world to have good internet, which fuck, let's get it. I'm ready for good internet. Shit. Let's make it happen, Google. Ryan, you got any closing thoughts?
I mean, y'all basically iterated it all. Yeah, that's what I feel the same way. It's exciting, but again, like it is sad to see the physical medium heading out the doorway.
Yeah. Sweet. All right, so now we're going to move on to the Nintendo Nindie Direct. Sorry, the Nindie Direct for March 20th. I was wondering when this was going to come because, I mean, we had such a long gap between the last like official big Direct, and I was like, when's the fucking Nindie Direct? Because I tend to be just as excited for those lately as the big full ones, and this one delivered. There's like 3 really big things for me, and then like a bunch of other stuff that I'm really intrigued about. So right out of the fucking gate, they bring on like one of the best games that came out last year. Was it last year? Oh, well, Cuphead is going to come to the fucking Switch, guys. Like dude, I have it on PC, and I hate playing games on PC, but that's how much I wanted to play this game. It's fucking gorgeous. It's fucking difficult. The art style and the music jive so fucking well. It's like a 1930s cartoon. But like
Cuphead just makes perfect sense on Switch.
Yeah, it does.
It's a co-op game.
It looks like it's gonna be just as beautiful on it too. Like I didn't see really any differences in the graphics.
Yeah, no, they've said that it looks identical to the Xbox One S.
It's very good. Yeah. It's very good.
Cuphead is like the first time I've ever been on the wrong side of an exclusive that I wanted to play.
Yeah, dude, I know.
So,
like I said, I caved and had to get it on PC. I was like, dude, watching people play that game, I was like, man, I need it. Like Microsoft nailed it with that one, and I'm really glad that like we were talking about earlier, they're just like, dude, fuck hardware, man. We can make $1 million. $1 billion. I'm so stupid. We can make a lot of money if we just put this on the Switch, dude, people are gonna eat that shit up. It's like, yeah,
dude,
yeah,
I would not be surprised if Cuphead sells more than the Xbox One and PC versions combined.
That's gonna be amazing because it's completely gonna happen. It's totally gonna fucking happen, and it makes sense. The one thing that kind of like has me kind of brain churning gears here. What does this mean for Xbox Game Pass coming to the Switch? Like, I feel like a lot of that has been in the news lately. Like, is Cuphead not on Game Pass, or is it?
No. So the rumors that came up about that was that Game Pass is coming to Switch, presumably through streaming, and that they were going to port some games natively to Nintendo Switch. And that included like Cuphead. Ori is also another that's been rumored, as well as a first party Microsoft game like Halo, Gears, or Forza.
Yeah. I mean, so do you guys think that the Game Pass thing is going to happen on Switch?
Oh yeah. 100. It's 100% happening right now because Cuphead was part of that rumor. And Cuphead happened. We know Xbox Live is happening. Like, there is too much smoke around Game Pass right now for it not to be true.
Yeah, dude, that's so exciting to me because, like, I've never been an Xbox person, but there have been games that, like, especially, and there's a lot missing that I want, but, like, if we can get that retro replay, or Rare Replay, I'm sorry, god damn it, retro. Rare Replay collection on the Switch, dude, come on. We finally get Banjo back on a Nintendo platform. Let's fucking go. Let's do it. Fucking Battletoads, hell yeah. Man, I'm just like blown away by what Xbox is doing. I'm really excited about that. I'm really happy they're bringing Cuphead. Another amazing announcement is that Blaster Master Zero 2 is a game. And then they're just like, it's on the eShop. It's like, what the fuck? This game... Why did we get a sequel to this? Why did it take so long? Also, thank you. Take my money. Yes.
Did you play the first one?
Yeah. It's actually a game that it was one of those games. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast. We talked about it before, but when we were kids, games would just turn up. Like, we don't know how we got games. I had Blaster Master. Yeah. It's really good. I never beat it. It's one of those games, but it's also on the Nintendo online NES, whatever you call it.
But did you play Blaster Master Zero?
No, not Blaster Master Zero, no. I only played the original Blaster Master.
Because that's on Switch already. That's been on Switch for like 2 years.
I mean, that's awesome. Dude, the fact that they just like, hey, this is the thing, and it's on the eShop, $10. I'm like, holy shit, fuck. Dropping big fucking guns here, man, dude. Cuphead and then that. You guys were excited about Katana Zero? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Katana Zero, I saw that like a couple of years ago or something. And it was like, dude, that game looks awesome. And then I forgot the name of it. And I was like, what was that game that looked like really awesome? And I just couldn't figure out what it was. And then recently I figured out the name again and I started like Googling around for it. And like Switch wasn't confirmed as a platform. And I'm like, dude, like don't make a mistake here, guys. Like just make a Switch version. And then I was like, okay, we're making a Switch version. And I was like, thank you.
It's like if you're an indie developer and you're not putting it on the Switch, you're fucking up, dude.
Yeah,
you're like fucking up.
Yeah, that's like I mean, I'm going to an indie development education, and like whenever I hear anyone saying, "Oh yeah, our target platform is PC," I'm just like,
like you're
like,
dude, look how good Hollow Knight did when it made the jump to Switch. Come on, look at that. Look,
yeah.
And when Cuphead inevitably fucking slam dunks on fucking Microsoft's sales, it's gonna be a good time.
Like the fact that Hollow Knight hasn't left the like top like best selling list on Nintendo Switch since it launched is like that's crazy. That was like a year ago. At E3 it will be a year ago since Hollow Knight's released on Switch, and it still hasn't left the best-selling list.
We got news about a lot of arcade games from what was it? Vlambeer? Arcade.
Vlambeer.
Vlambeer. I don't really
so
know
they
much about those games, but
they announced Super Crate Box. What's the one?
Nuclear Throne.
Nuclear Throne, and that Vlambeer Arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vlambeer is. I would say Vlambeer is mostly famous for the lead guy behind it, which is Rami Ismail. He's like a really vocal indie developer. And I would say they're mostly famous because of him and not necessarily for their games very much.
Yep. Let's see. And then we had a new Double Fine game, I think. What's the developer?
Rad.
Double Fine with Rad. That was a rad trailer, if I might say so.
I liked how the trailer ended with like, "You are rad."
Yeah, it was like very on the nose, but I mean, like, come on, that was fucking rad. Get out of town with that.
It looked like
The game does not look good.
No, but it still looked like a better version of like Biomutant.
I don't know, man. I'm into it. I'm about it. I don't know if it'll be a definite buy, but I'm definitely interested.
Yeah,
I thought the action fighter pinball thing, Creature in the Well or whatever.
Yeah, that looked fucking dope. Awesome. That looked really cool. I mean, I'm not like the hugest pinball fan, but I definitely like and respect it. Especially lately, in the past couple of years, we've been getting like some weird takes on it, like adventure pinball games, and it's just
it looked like a puzzly kind of game. Like,
So I found another like interesting take on pinball like just today. Let me see. It was on iOS. It's called Pin Out, and
Pin Out.
Yeah, it's like this synthwave kind of pinball game that is basically endless. Like it's an endless pinball game, and it's not like in a singular environment. Like it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Like forward, like you just keep shooting it up, and like the stage like keeps going. So like I found it on the Today tab on the App Store, and like I showed it to my friend who sits next to me at school. I'm like, how has no one made anything like this before? Like this is so fascinating. And I played it, and it was pretty fun.
Yeah. Also, we got.
How did y'all enjoy that animal cruelty they shoved down your throats with the whole dog sledding thing where they showed the bear attack
the Red Lantern?
Dude, that game looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
So here's the thing. Real quick about that game was like the trailer, the setup, everything was really cool vibe. And then they have a narrator talking about like, oh, this is my life, blah blah blah. I'm in a van or whatever. And then they open the door and you see the dog. And I'm like, dude, do you get to play as the dog? But no, you play as the sledder. Man, I gotta be honest, I was a little disappointed that you're not the dog in that game.
I was like disappointed because like they start you off with like a full team of dogs, and then the rest of the trailer, there's always that one dog missing from the team, and it's like, well, damn, I don't know if I want to play this.
Yeah,
like,
that game looks like it's gonna be a really sad, fucked up game. But like, man, one thing about this Nindie Direct is like, man, the roguelike games are really just like every fucking where now.
Yeah,
like procedurally generated stuff is just in every game now, and like, don't get me wrong.
I watched this thing with like with the teacher that we had this week here. We were like learning some stuff about project management. It's like we watched it together, and we were like talking about while it was happening. Like the roguelike thing is just everywhere. Like we were both like, we're not feeling it.
Dude, it's like this dog game. What? I'm sorry, I keep calling it Red Lantern, right?
Yeah.
When I thought you're gonna be a dog, and I was like, "Oh, damn, you're a human," and then they're like, "It's gonna be procedurally generated." I'm like, "Ding, number 2!" Like, come on, man.
Every
game gotta have this?
The most like interesting thing about the Red Lantern to me was that it's a 3D game that actually looks like it has a very clean image on the Switch. Because like usually 3D games outside of Nintendo's own games, they just look really muddy, and they look like they have like a really bad implementation of anti-aliasing, like they're really low resolution. Textures are not very good, but like this one looked really clean. And 3D games usually don't look clean on Switch.
Yep.
They announced that the title of the game before they showed the trailer for Red Lantern, and when they said the name of the game was Red Lantern, was that the only thing I got a little excited? Like, just saying, like, how cool would that be? But no, it's dog sledding.
Yeah, I don't.
So a game one of the games that was shown that I got excited for this time was My Friend Pedro.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I don't like the animation on the main character, but the movement in that game looks really cool.
Yeah.
It seems like a game that you're gonna have to play for your stream, Kerley, just because of the talking banana.
No, exactly. When they mentioned the banana, I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta buy this game. Let's see, what else did we have? It was I don't remember.
Real quick, did y'all notice in the My Friend Pedro trailer, like every single scene, go back and watch it, he never hits a single enemy. Like, not one time.
Okay.
Wait, really?
Every shot that's fired does not hit a single person. I don't know if that's maybe because the game isn't developed to the point where they had like death animations, but there's not a single bullet that hits.
I didn't notice that. No, we had a weird Neo Cab game. Didn't look like it was for me. Did you guys get any vibes from that?
Wait, which one did you say?
Neo Cab.
Yeah. I mean, the game is just kind of too real. It's like, you're the last human driver. It's like,
yeah.
Ooh. I can see that happening sooner than later.
One interesting thing we got was the Stranger Things 3. It was the exact same announcement that we've seen before. I thought that was really out of place there because it was the exact same thing, even with the same interaction with the people.
Also, is that an indie? I mean,
yeah. I didn't play through.
It's just like a trash mobile game. That's just what the feeling I get.
Like they released Stranger Things 2. There hasn't been a Stranger Things 1 game, and now we have Stranger Things 3, the game, and it's just like, okay, interesting. There's waffles that you collect.
Stranger Things 2 game?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I think it's just such a missed opportunity when it comes to Stranger Things games because, like, Stranger Things
we could get so
obviously Stranger Things obviously has taken inspiration from Earthbound. So why isn't it just an Earthbound game?
Dude, I'm fucking with you right there.
I don't understand. They're hiding story elements of Stranger Things in this game. Like, that doesn't seem...
What do you mean?
Because the game, it's take a deeper look at the story behind Stranger Things Season 3 with the game. So obviously there's going to be some kind of either like backstory or some kind of story element that is canon to the Netflix series.
I think that's fine though. I mean,
no one's gonna care. It's like
it also launches day and date with Stranger Things 3, I believe. Which is cool. I mean, I might check it out. I'm not the biggest mobile game player, but I love fucking Stranger Things. I'll check it out.
That's what I'm saying. I love Stranger Things, and I don't want to have to play this game to learn story.
Yeah, you're right. I got you.
Did you guys watch the new trailer for Stranger Things 3?
Yeah, it's fucking dope. It looks so good.
Excited.
I am too.
I love that like Avengers shot that they have, which like every relevant character in the show
that's the exact
in the
same thing I thought.
scene.
I was just waiting for the dude, it's so good. We have a Nindie sale going on. Have you guys checked that out on the eShop?
Yeah.
Anything worth noting or?
Not really.
No. All right. I haven't gotten to check it out, but I did set a reminder for myself to go on there, see if there's anything cheap worth picking up. And then let's just go ahead to the big guns, dude. Nintendo is always starting strong. They're always ending strong. They fucking show Crypt of the Necrodancer, and then this is a cool ass rhythm RPG action type game, like isometric sort of. And then you start hearing like the little theme because this is a very, very heavily music based game, and then all of a sudden you fucking hear the overworld music for Legend of Zelda being remixed, and you're just like, what the fuck's gonna happen? And then they announce Cadence of Hyrule, Crypt of the Necrodancer. It's like an original game based in Crypt of the Necrodancer where you play as Link and Zelda. fucking let's
Yeah.
go. Let's fucking
And
go, dude.
I think one of the most substantial things about this game is that it is an official Zelda game.
Yeah.
It is not just like Crypt of the Necrodancer with like with a Zelda theme. It is considered by Nintendo to be an official The Legend of Zelda game.
Ooh, I can't wait to see what timeline this one falls in.
Fuck you, Ryan. Dude, I mean,
It would be fascinating if they
Very-
put this in the timeline.
like because the thing is like when you see it, you're like, why does this look like Link to the Past? Like the trees are Link
Right.
to the Past trees, and you're just like,
Exactly.
wait a minute, like it looks fucking gorgeous. The fucking
Yeah.
Zelda music, come on, dude, a rhythm Zelda game. Like this is
I think it's cool to have
amazing.
a Zelda game where you actually get to play as the title character.
That's another point. Have we, other than like Hyrule Warriors, have we played as Zelda in a Zelda game? That's
Except this one's not a Zelda game because it's a Hyrule game.
God damn it. You're right. Fuck. Fuck. So close. One day we'll get it. But I mean, the past two Nintendo Directs have ended on some kick-ass Zelda. Like,
Yeah.
I was talking in the last podcast that I was like, I didn't expect new Zelda so soon, and this is coming out in the fucking spring. I'm just like, all right, fucking bring it on, man.
So that leak, or not leak, but like y'all remember a while back they had a job listing for the Zelda games
Yeah.
that everybody was hyped up about. Is one of these that game that they were listing the jobs for?
No,
Or
because
do we
this is
have
a
another
different
one in the pipe?
studio. This is the studio that did Necrodancer. So.
I'm talking about like this or Link's Awakening. Like, is one of these two
I mean,
what they were listing the job openings for?
I'm sure the next, like, the Breath of the Wild sequel is also in development right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's what that's for, because, I mean, you have to imagine that Link's Awakening is mostly the Zelda team with the ones that did Link Between Worlds, and, you know. So, I mean, who knows, though? But, I mean, we do know. Come on. Predecessor to Breath of the Wild is imminent, so...
I hope so.
I mean, come on.
By the way, another thing that I noticed, like, I went to the eShop to add like the normal Crypt of the Necrodancer to my wish list because I'm gonna go ahead and buy it and play it.
Yeah.
And
It's another one I
noticed
need to pick up.
I noticed they have completely revamped the art style in this new game. Like, the art in the original game is like not as good.
No shit. I'm excited for that. I mean, they open with Cuphead. They got Blaster Master Zero 2. They got Katana Zero. This game, I mean, there's a lot of good shit in here. One disappointment, and this is maybe a fault of my own, is we didn't get that fucking Celeste DLC that we know is in development. I really thought it was going to happen.
Yeah.
The chapter 9 or whatever it's going to be called, because they the Matt Makes Games dude has been like teasing it. He even showed like a clip of it, and I was like, dude, it's about to come, and it didn't. That's the one disappointment here. But you know, you can't blame them. You know, it's either not ready or whatever. But I really thought it was going to be here.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts on Nindies?
Not really.
Cool. Thank you guys so much for listening. What are
Hold
you
up,
most
hold
excited? Oh,
I do need to say one last thing. Not about the Nindies, but just a little bit of news that came out this week that I wanted to share.
yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is the #1 selling game of the year so far.
Really?
Yes.
Of course it is. Like, there are no other high-profile games that have been released.
Well, I mean,
Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2 came out.
Yeah, sure. Like,
Resident Evil 2, The Division, but that's still too new.
It just came out.
Yeah.
Anthem.
I mean,
but,
Anthem
like,
came out in February.
Anthem is surprising that didn't.
I think it's funny how Anthem has a lower
Anthem got
Metacritic score.
outsold by
Anthem has a lower Metacritic score than Mass Effect Andromeda.
Does it?
Yeah.
Dude, come on. I mean, I'm not even going to open that can of worms. Like, I haven't even played it. I can't say, but, you know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening, tuning in. Let us know what you're most excited for on the Nindie front. If you're also very upset that we don't have Celeste Chapter 9 Shadow dropped already for us. And also, what do you think of Google Stadia? Leave a comment below, like, subscribe. I'm Kerley. You can follow me at Kerley Studios, Kerley. Dennis, where can they find you?
You can follow me at Dennis_Lofgren.
Sweet. And old chum Ryan, where can they find you?
Sweet Tea Productions on YouTube or Ryan Tierney.
Sweet. And both these guys are also frequent collaborators on the channel. But that's all we got for you guys. Peace out. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.